Welcome. This is Share Your Story with Renama, and I am your host, Dr. Perfecta, the Pain Healer. On today's episode, we're sharing a true life story of a lady who was raped at 17, only to figure out later on in life when she tried to have sex that she couldn't. Let's dive right into it. Hi, Anonymous.
Hello,
Thank you for choosing to share your story with us.
my pleasure.
So, tell us about your story. When did it start and how?
Okay, I was 17 years old um, in school, and then I got raped by two strangers. At the time, I was a virgin. I had never had any sexual relations with a man before, and so that rape experience was my first experience with sex. And so that's basically like the short shortest version, as it were, of the story. It started when I was raped at the age of 17, and then on leaving the rape scene, I got help from a couple of friends to go to the hospital and then to the police, to report the case and to get me cleaned up and treated, and all of that. And so I got, I saw a doctor. I got cleaned up. I had lacerations,
Oh, wow.
and the doctor sort of, I'm not really sure exactly what she did, because it was a female doctor.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what she did to the lacerations. I think they just healed on their own. I think she just cleaned me up, and then I was given emergency contraceptive pills to use to prevent unwanted pregnancy.
Okay.
And then I was also placed on antiretroviral drugs for a month to prevent HIV.
Yeah.
Even though I was tested, I was told that if any of the rapists were HIV positive, they wouldn't be able to detect it in my blood test yet. And so, just to be on the safe side, they placed me on a month's dosage of antiretroviral drugs. And so, yeah, that. Any other question for me?
All right. Okay, so I'm so sorry about everything you have been through, and
Thank you.
right. Okay, so I want to know, and I'm sure everyone listening to this would also want to know, what has it cost you to journey through it emotionally, physically, financially, and in every other aspect of your life? But I'd love to start with emotionally.
Oh, wow, that's a lot. So, emotionally, I'm in a much better place right now.
Okay.
A much better place. However, you know, I've come to learn, and I share this as well with my therapy clients, that healing is, the emotional healing is a lifelong journey. And so, even though I'm in a much better place now, that doesn't mean that I don't still have bad days. There's still days that I remember, and the memory comes with some kind of pain, emotional pain. The difference though is that I deal with it better. I can come out of it faster. I know what to do to cope healthily in the times when those bad days come. However, initially it wasn't that easy. It was really difficult. I was depressed, suicidal actually. I remember I mentioned earlier that I was placed on antiretroviral drugs, which were really powerful, strong
Medication.
medication. Yeah, and I remember that asked to I was asked to take one daily, just one tablet daily.
Okay.
And that one tablet would really, really weigh me down. Like it had so much, I don't know the vocabulary to use now, but I'll just use the word power. It had so much power, in it to make me feel sick, literally. And I was warned about that side effect, before I started using it, and how that it was really important for me to take, a lot of food, like to eat really, really well. So imagine how one tablet would make me feel so sick, and imagine having like lots of that, in my hand, and wanting to swallow it to kill myself, because I didn't want to feel
Go to the pressure
the
of having to
emotional
take,
pain.
right.
Yeah. So I got to that point. So like I said, the point I'm trying to make is that it wasn't always it never is, even till now. It's not really an easy thing to deal with emotionally, but I'm in a much better place right now.
Oh, all right. Grateful that you've successfully found measures to curb the excess weight load that had on you. So that's really, like, good. So how about physically? Did you struggle with any physical manifestation as a result of that incident that you had to struggle with, that you had to go through life with?
Okay, yeah. So like I mentioned earlier that I had lacerations. That means that I had tears and stuff. And so that was like obviously the first physical what's it called? The first physical issue that I experienced, and that kind of lasted maybe a week or two. I really can't remember. It's been a little while that it happened, but it lasted, let's just say, 2 weeks, right? And I couldn't easing myself. Urinating was
Oh, wow.
kind of hard, because I would feel pains. Even sitting was a bit painful. Walking, and yeah. So there's this particular one that I actually currently I don't have the full. I have a little bit of understanding of what happened to me, and I'm going to go into it, but I'm not sure I have a full understanding, because I'm not a doctor, right? So I don't really know what happened. I know that there's a psychological aspect to it, but I don't know. I can't explain. I don't have words for the physical aspect, but I remember that I'm not sure it was even up to a week or so after it happened, and I was at home, because at the time it happened I was in school.
Okay.
And my parents came to take me home for a while.
Okay.
And I was at home, and really they didn't want me stepping out, to do anything or go anywhere. They just wanted me in the house to rest, to recover, and all of that. And there was this time that both my parents were not home. They had to go to work, obviously. And I felt really tired of staying, just lying down and staying inside. And I just wanted some sunlight and all of that. So I decided to go out and get something. And I think I was hungry as well. So I decided to go out and get something. And getting something was just a few blocks, away from my house. Only for me to notice that I started to lose control of my neck.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I started to lose control of my neck, such that my head started to turn. And it was turning like it was gonna turn all the way back. Like, it's weird. Like,
that was psychological.
You said?
Was that
No, I
psychological?
mean like physically, like my head was turning physically. Like I'm trying to face front to look forward. I
Okay.
can't because I don't even have control of my neck and my head anymore.
Oh.
Yeah. So my head started to turn, I think it was towards the right side. And I had, as in, it was weird. It was like the weirdest, still till date, the weirdest thing I've ever experienced in my life. And so my hair started to turn, and at first I wasn't really even sure what was going on. I was like, maybe I sprained. Maybe I sprained my neck or something. And then, but then I discovered it wasn't just an ordinary sprain, because if it was a sprain, it would just be a matter of me trying to turn my neck and feeling pain. But I wasn't even trying to turn my neck. I was trying to look straight. I was trying to face, forward, but I couldn't. And my head kept turning, to the right, to the right, to the right. And it felt like it was going to keep on turning that way. And I was really, really, really scared.
And you're sure you're not hallucinating? Like, these
I wasn't.
things, they appear real.
I wasn't hallucinating because my parents saw it. People, like the people around me, saw it because I had to call
Okay.
my was it my dad and my mom? I can't remember. And told them something was wrong with me. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I had to go back home, and so they saw it. My head was literally by the side, and like I said, like I keep like saying it because it really felt like it was going to go all the way back, and that was what was even scary me, because it was like if my head should successfully, you understand. So they came home, rushed me to the hospital. When the doctor saw me, he said he asked me to open my mouth. He said my tongue was already white, sort of, and it was like, I don't know, probably I was going. And I really can't recall. I don't know what he did. Obviously injections, drips and stuff, and then it came back. He mentioned something about my nerves.
Okay.
Yeah. And so like I was trying to say that I know that there's this a psychological aspect to it, and I know that the mind and body,
Yes,
they connect. Yeah. So he said it was something about my nerves that was going on, and then he suggested that perhaps when the rape was happening, I had in the course of the struggle, I had injured myself somewhere, and so I was just seeing the effect of what had happened, coupled with the fact that I was not mentally and emotionally fine.
Yeah, because I feel like that's like traumatic, yeah.
So that was like till the scariest thing that has ever happened to me physically. So yeah, that was another physical experience. And then years down the line, a few years down the line I discovered that when I tried to have sex, that I couldn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I just would involuntarily close up. I got to know later on that it was a common thing with not even just
common,
ladies,
right?
common in the sense that common with ladies that have experienced sexual trauma.
Okay.
And sexual trauma is not even really just rape. Sexual trauma is could be like a lady being told by her mom from childhood or by somebody she looks up to, how really painful sex is, and all of that. So that can traumatize a lady. So basically it's generally sexual trauma. So I had that, and it's called vaginismus.
Yeah.
I later got to know that when I was really trying to search for what was wrong
What
with
was
me,
wrong with him?
right? So that I experienced vaginismus, and I found out that I couldn't have sex, and I was involuntarily closing up, and it wasn't just about it being painful. Fine, it was I experienced some pain, and it's really you know going to be painful for most women. Their first time having sex is not exactly sweet,
Yeah.
So, but however, it wasn't just the physical pain that I was feeling; it was the
Right.
fear
Of
of the pain.
penetration,
Yeah.
right?
So I had that, and that went on for a while. And at some point, I just decided, you know what, I'm probably just going to lock up and forget about having sex or ever. Yeah, having sex.
Just imagine how one thing can metamorphose into another thing,
Yeah.
and then another thing. And then, okay, so for me, I can't exactly say I understand or what you're going through or what you went through, right? But I mean, like, that's the core of what we're doing here. Like, many ladies go through these stuffs and they don't know what it is. They can't even, like, really articulate what it is that they're experiencing. And so that I'm really, really grateful for the fact that you're doing this and then you're sharing your story, because you're helping more and more lady out there understand that she's not alone, and that, someone else is really experiencing the same thing that she's experiencing. And so I wanted to ask that, I'm sure you can't put a particular number to it, but if we were going to, like, just give a random figure, what has it cost you financially?
Okay. Oh boy. I really don't know. I can't put a finger to it like you said. I really can't, because I mean, if I started to pay for this I started to pay for my health in this regard from the moment, from the day I got raped, because I had to go to the hospital to clean up. I had to pay for that. I had to, buy contraceptives. The only thing I probably didn't pay for was the antiretroviral drugs, because I think those are free generally in
Healthcare centers.
healthcare center or government hospitals, I guess.
Okay.
So, but every other thing, I had to pay for. Obviously, when the issue with my head and my neck happened, I had to pay the doctor, for that. So I can't even put a figure to it, because from then till, maybe even now, really, I'm still having to pay for one thing or the other as regards my health as a woman, that I am sure leads or dates back to that, rape experience. So I really can't put a figure to it.
Right.
But I'm sure I've spent, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of naira.
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, I mean, like, this is the reality of most ladies, like I earlier said, rather. Okay, so if you had one advice to give to all the ladies listening to this podcast, anybody at all listening to this podcast right now, what would it be?
Honestly, I think it would be to give holistic health a chance. Why? Because I feel like, beyond the damage that was done by the rapist to my body, I feel like, the drugs that I had been given, the contraceptives, and every other thing from then till now, had their own side effects and, their own roles to play in the issues that I had to
Eventually
deal with, with my health. We may not be able to really talk about every one of them, but infections and reinfections, because of maybe too much of antibiotics, and stuff like that. So yeah, so I think that would be my advice: give holistic health, a chance, and see how, where that takes you to in your health, in your body.
Okay, that's, like, really good. So is there anything you're doing right now to get to know your body well, like to be in tune with your body and get like good results?
Oh yeah, so I joined Renoma Women's Aid Community, and have been learning a lot about my body. I've been learning a lot about. I've been learning a lot about my cycle, and how to take care of my body, really, how to know and take care of my body to live, to live a healthier life, to live a more wholesome life, to live a pain-free life.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Right. Thank you once again for sharing your story with us.
Thank you for having me.
I mean, I don't even know what to say than just thank you so much. And it's not an easy thing to do, because many people cannot even bring themselves to talk about what it is they're going through, or what it is they struggled with, out of the place of rejection or condemnation and all of that.
Yeah.
So you're really strong, and you are super amazing, and I mean, you've got this.
Yeah, I do.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Perfecta.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Disclaimer: this is based on someone's true life story, and the instances mentioned might not necessarily apply to you. Seek to find out your specific health situation and solution from your healthcare provider or any other certified healthcare provider. If you'd love to share your story with Renoma, visit www.renomaholistichealth.com/SYS form and follow us on all our social media platforms at Renoma Holistic Health. Till I come your way again, remember, your body is not a storehouse for pain. Don't get used to it. Don't nurse the pain. It's not your baby.